Right, welcome back. It's new project time. This one will be for the wife because she's been begging me and nagging me for about a year and a half now to build a Boy Ford Capri because she's a massive fan of Only Fools and Horses. Well, I've managed to find a Ford Capri model kit, so here is the Boy Only Fools and Horses Pratmobile.
What do you mean, Pratmobile?
Right, so here's the kit. It is a Monogram Ford Capri II kit. I bought it off an eBay seller for £15 and he'd actually built it, but not very well. He used a bit of super glue here and there sparingly, and he didn't even bother to do anything with it once he built it. He didn't paint it or nothing, because you can see the interior tub hasn't been done and the actual colour of the Capri is just basically in stock. You can see the actual plastic shine. Right, now you can see there and there he's just put super glue on. He's put a bit of super glue on there on the front and on the rear. The actual front bumper actually came off because you can see where he's glued it there and there just in front of my finger. Right, I mean, he didn't even bother to glue the back screen in or the actual front windscreen. You can see he hasn't even bothered to glue that in. He's just glued it round there. Again with the seats, just there and on the other side where my thumb is there, so very easy to take out. You can see where he's glued it there and there on the steering column and the dashboard. He didn't even use clear glue for the actual headlamp glass fascias, the lenses, because you can see it's all dried in that bloody misty colour. Right, so unlike the seller, I'm actually going to paint this. Getting my wife's Corgi 2-car set 143 scale, you can see the colour it's going to be. A horrible lime green, because you know what Del Boy's like, he had no fashion sense whatsoever. I'm even going to paint the wing mirrors in pink, but I'm just waiting for the paint to arrive from Taiwan. Right, so, giving me the paint, I've got some Humbrol 38 lime green. And as like I said, Del Boy had absolutely no fashion sense. I've even bought some tigerprint decal sheets for the interior and the seat covers. Also, I've actually bought some headlamps. 124 scale, them 7mm headlamps. You got the resin headlamp there, and then you got the actual lenses, them like in a clear chrome finish. And also I bought some pinstripe decals. These are all from the same truck modelling website, Kit Form Services. That cost me £3. The headlamp set cost me £7.50, and the decals were £3 a piece for the sheet. And then off the internet for the license number plates, I've actually gone with the first Capri that was in He Ain't Ever He's My Uncle, because there's about 2 or 3 versions of the Capri. And if you look on He Ain't Ever He's My Uncle, if you look on the driver's side very closely, you can see that he had some California license plates. And the seller I bought these off, Blue Dolphin 09 I believe his name was, absolutely awesome. He actually did them custom. £3 for that set and £3 for that set. But this mini project is about to start. Anyway, just to keep the wife quiet, stay with me. Started work on the Capri using my glue and glaze. I've glued the windscreen into place now, because you know it was popping out, so I just ran some around there, around the edges, on the side windows and on the rear window, the rear screen, also on the clear parts of the lights as well. And then just used some masking tape and just taped it down there and there, held it down overnight. Once the glue dried, then I used some normal household masking tape off to mask the windows off, and then using some of my electrical tape to mask the outside of the windows off, and a bit of normal household for the side windows. But The shell is now ready for primer. Stay with me. Right, welcome back. Primering is all done. And you can see, especially on the body shell, that it looks 100 million times better than it did before. You can also see that I've done the inside as well. I've also managed to set the wheel axles off so I could do the underneath, because I'm going to do all that, paint it and rushed it all up and everything. And the interior tub looks absolutely fantastic as well. I've also done the 2 seats and the dashboard, but looks absolutely fantastic even with just the primer by itself. Stay with me. Right, and welcome back. You can see that I've been very busy on the interior, and I can happily say the interior is all done. You can see all the tigerprint upholstery is all now done on the dashboard and the actual side panels for the doors. Basically what I did, I used some pizza box card to make me some rough templates. As you can see, just slot that in there, to give me some rough measurements to cut out of the decal paper. As you can see, you got the backrest for the seats, the back seat. You got the actual side door as well for the actual side panel, as you can see. Just to give me a rough guide, and then using the microset and the microsol, I got to work on the decaling. Quite easy actually, not too bad, because these decals are actually pretty stiff. They didn't tear on me at all. So I did that, as you can see, using the microset and the microsol, and it's done its job. It's really sucked it in to the actual the seats. You can even make out the lines of the seats. Anyway, like I said, it's very easy. A bit of patching up here and there, especially around the sides there and around that side there, just cutting out little triangles and stuff to patch it around. You can see there's a little line there where it hasn't blended in quite well, but the actual pattern is the same. But like I said, a lot of patching up, especially around this area as well. But the microset and the microsol has done a fantastic job. Then I moved on to the side panels, but I had to cut round the actual leather side panels there. So what I did is I made the actual template for the side panel, and then using a bit of greaseproof paper as some tracing paper, you can see the pencil marks. And then basically cutting round with my scissors. I actually made 2 pieces. I actually made the little piece there for the top, so I'll put that on the top there, and then the rest of that section was another section there, and I just like eased it round the side there, and it went into place eventually. It took me quite a while to get it into place, and then just patching up around the edges with my little, you know, offcuts here and there. But it's actually blended in really well, and on the other side as well. Now, moving on to the dashboard. Dashboard decals are actually quite difficult to get round, especially there and underneath, but with the microset and the microsol it's done its job. But I haven't actually done anything with the instrument panel, because some of you might say, well, hold on, the tigerprint should actually extend onto the instrument panel and around the actual dials. But in the end I tried to, but it was too fiddly, and trying to cut round them edges for the actual circles, it didn't look very well at all. So I just painted that back in black, picked out the actual dials in white, and then just a bit of silver for the drive, you know, to bring out the detail. Then came the massive task of doing the seats, the front seats. I did a square there, and then a rectangular at the top, and then just did a wrap around the back as well, and then just a bit round the sides, and tried to patch it up the best I could. But you can see on the headrest, it's not the best job in the world. I mean, I wrapped some around the side and put a little hat on, and it's not like actual like rounded, as you can see there. It's like square, but it doesn't matter, because once the actual this goes into the shell, you're not going to see it that much, to be honest. But it's not too bad of a job. I probably could have done a better job, but for my first attempt it's not bad. It was just gaining the folds of there and there, and the little folds around there with the microset and the microsol, but it sucked it in fairly well. Not too bad at all. You can make out the lines of the actual seat as well. Another concern I've got, where the steering wheel is, that seat even though there's some mounting tabs underneath, is a bit too close to the steering wheel. But my wife says don't worry about it, it's alright and it's not too bad. I mean, at the end of the day, it gives it the illusion it could be pushed back. And then with the steering wheel itself, I just paint that in the number 9 Humbrol brown. I did try to wrap some decals around it, but they kept sticking out the folds and it just wouldn't blend in at all, so I just took them off and then retouched up with the brown. But I'm really happy on how the interiors turned out, not too bad at all. Stay with me. Right, now the interior's all done, you can see that I've started work on the outer body shell and it looks really nice, not bad at all. I basically started off with the roof, so I masked off the rest of the car with some newspaper and some masking tape, and then just masked off the roof, and then spraying my Halford's gloss black onto the roof, and it's come out really nice, not too bad at all. It's got a nice little shine on it. Once that dried, then I removed all the tape and the newspaper and then remasked the actual roof and the side sections. And then I took it outside and then with my Humbrol lime green 38 sprayed the outer shell, and you can see that it's turned out really well, not bad at all. There's a little bit of paint bleed here and there where the tape's come off, but you know, when I'm doing the final detailing I can address that by hand with my fine detailing brush with the black paint. But the shell's all done. Moving on to the underneath chassis, again with the Halford's gloss black, sprayed the chassis, waited for that to dry, and then by hand just picked out the prop shaft and the exhaust pipes and the fuel tank in the silver, because I'm not really going to do any much with this underneath. I'm basically just going to give it a good rust wash once over with the rust wash to give it that bit of rust detailing. But the Capri is starting to come together now. Stay with me.